Hi everyone, and welcome to this video channel Science Class-VIII. In the previous video class we studied chapter number 2, microorganisms, friend and foe. In today's video class also, let's continue this chapter number 2, microorganisms, friend and foe. For today, let's start from textbook page number 26. Let's start from preservation by common salt. In the previous class, we studied some of the preservatives. Say commonly used preservatives are salt and oil. They are commonly used preservatives. So let's see some preservatives like sodium benzoate and sodium metabisulfite are common preservatives also, and they are chemicals. Today, preservation by common salt. Let's see. Common salt has been used to preserve meat and fish for ages. Meat and fish are covered with dry salt to check the growth of bacteria. Salting is also used to preserve amla, raw mangoes, tamarind, etc. We know common salt has been used to preserve meat, fish for ages. So meat and fish are covered with dry salt to check the growth of bacteria. And salting is also used to preserve, say, amla, raw mangoes, and even tamarind also. So in this case, common salt is used as a preservative. Next, let's see preservation by sugar. How sugar is used for the preservation of food items. Let's see. Jams, jellies, and squash are preserved by sugar. Sugar reduces the moisture content which inhibits the growth of bacteria which spoil food. So jams, jellies, and squash are preserved by sugar. And you know, sugar reduces the moisture content which inhibits the growth of bacteria which spoil food. So bacteria are present in the food itself. So the growth of this bacteria inhibits by addition of sugar. So sugar is used as preservative. Next, let's see preservation by oil and vinegar. Preservation by oil and vinegar. Use of oil and vinegar prevents spoilage of pickles because bacteria cannot live in such an environment. Vegetables, fruits, fish, and meat are often preserved by this method. So oil and vinegar are also used as a preservative. So it prevents the spoilage of pickles because bacteria cannot live in such an environment. Bacteria cannot live in the presence of oil and vinegar. That is why oil and vinegar are used as preservatives. So vegetables, fruits, fish, and meat are often preserved by this method. That means vegetables, fruits, fish, and meat are often preserved by using oil and vinegar. Next, let's see heat and cold treatments. Let's see, you must have observed your mother boiling milk before it is stored or used. Say, boiling kills many microorganisms. So, you must have observed your mother boiling milk before it is stored or used. Say, before we drink the fresh milk, it is better to boil because boiling kills many microorganisms present in the milk. So, similarly, we keep our food in the refrigerator. Low temperature inhibits the growth of microbes also. So generally, we generally used to put food items in the refrigerator because in the low temperature, growth of microorganisms inhibits. That is why we put foods to the refrigerator. Why does the milk that comes in packets not spoil? My mother told me that the milk is pasteurized. What is pasteurization? Here we meet a new term that is called pasteurization. Let's see what is pasteurization. Pasteurized milk can be consumed without boiling as it is free from harmful microbes. The milk is heated to about 70 degrees centigrade for 15 to 30 seconds and then suddenly sealed and stored. By doing so, it prevents the growth of microbes. This process was discovered by Louis Pasteur. It is called pasteurization. So, pasteurization is process in which the milk is heated to 70 degrees centigrade for about 15 to 30 seconds. The germs, disease-causing microorganisms present in the milk can be killed by doing so, and this process is called pasteurization. Okay, next point, let's see storage and packing. Storage and packing. These days, dry fruits and even vegetables are sold in sealed airtight packets to prevent the attack of microbes. You know, in this modern age, most of the fruits and vegetables are sold in sealed airtight packets. Why? It prevents the attack of microbes. That is why they are sealed in the sealed airtight packets. Next, let's see nitrogen fixation. What is nitrogen fixation? Let's see. You have learned about the bacterium, that is Rhizobium, in classes 6 and 7. Rhizobium is, you might heard the term Rhizobium in class 6 and 7, and it is involved in the fixation of nitrogen in leguminous plants, particularly in the pulses like peas and beans. In their roots, nitrogen fixing bacteria that is called Rhizobium is present. Recall that Rhizobium lives in the root nodules of leguminous plants. In your textbook, it is also mentioned that Rhizobium lives in the root nodules of leguminous plants. Leguminous plants like pea, then beans, particularly pulses, such as beans and peas. It is also mentioned here. with which it has a symbiotic relationship. Sometimes nitrogen gets fixed through the action of lightning. But you know that the amount of nitrogen in the atmosphere remains constant. And you may wonder how. The amount of nitrogen in the atmosphere is constant. And let us understand this in the next section. In the next section, we will understand that is the amount of nitrogen in the atmosphere remains constant. Okay, now let's move on textbook page number 27. In textbook page number 27, figure number 2.9, roots of a leguminous plant with root nodules are shown here. Let's see. Nitrogen cycle. What is nitrogen cycle? Let's see. Here, before we study nitrogen cycle, please look at this picture. Roots of leguminous plant. This is the root of leguminous plant with root nodules. In these root nodules, rhizobium are present and nitrogen are fixed in the root nodules. Okay, nitrogen cycle. Let's see. Nitrogen cycle. Our atmosphere has 78% nitrogen gas. 78%. Nitrogen is one of the essential constituents of all living organisms as part of proteins, chlorophyll, nucleic acids, and vitamins. So, in our atmosphere, out of the 100, 78% nitrogen gas is present. So nitrogen is one of the essential constituents of all living organisms as part of proteins, chlorophyll, nucleic acids, and vitamins. The atmospheric nitrogen cannot be taken directly by plants and animals. So the atmospheric nitrogen cannot be taken directly by plants and animals. Certain bacteria and blue-green algae present in the soil fix nitrogen from the atmosphere and convert it into compounds of nitrogen. So we know atmospheric nitrogen cannot be taken directly by plant and animals. So certain bacteria and blue-green algae present in the soil fix nitrogen from the atmosphere and convert it into compounds of nitrogen. Once nitrogen is converted into these usable compounds, then it can be utilized by plants from the soil through their root. So once nitrogen is converted into these usable compounds, then it can be utilized by plants from the soil through their root system. So nitrogen is then used for the synthesis of plant proteins and other compounds. And nitrogen is then used for what? Synthesis of plant proteins and other compounds. Animals feeding on plants get these proteins and other nitrogen compounds. So animals feeding on plants get these proteins and other nitrogen compounds. In figure number 2.10, we can see when plants and animals die, bacteria and fungi present in the soil convert the nitrogenous waste into nitrogenous compounds to be used by plants again. Certain other bacteria convert some part of them to nitrogen gas, which goes back into the atmosphere. As a result, the percentage of nitrogen in the atmosphere remains more or less constant. So it comes to the point that is nitrogen in the atmosphere remains constant. So here let's see figure number 2.10 nitrogen cycle. Let's see. Here compounds of nitrogen in the soil is converted to bacteria, turns compounds of nitrogen into gaseous nitrogen. Then this gaseous nitrogen goes as atmospheric nitrogen. Then atmospheric nitrogen, when lightening, then it comes as compounds of nitrogen in the soil. Then again, this atmospheric nitrogen is nitrogen fixing bacteria fix atmospheric nitrogen, and it is converted into, say, bacteria in turn fix nitrogen into nitrogenous compounds. Then it goes compounds of nitrogen in the soil. Then again, compounds of nitrogen in the soil, it is uptaken by the plants. Then this compounds of nitrogen goes as animals eat plants. Then that nitrogen, that means nitrogenous waste from excretion and death, then it goes in the compounds of nitrogen in the soil. So this is what about the nitrogen cycle. Like this, the amount of nitrogen in the atmosphere remains constant. So from this nitrogen cycle chart, we understand amount of nitrogen in the atmosphere remains constant. Okay, now let's study some textual questions and answers. Question number 1. Let's see, fill in the blanks. Number A. Microorganisms can be seen with the help of a yes. Here we have to fill up the word microscope. Microorganisms can be seen with the help of a microscope. Next, number B. Blue-green algae picks gas directly from air and enhance fertility of soil. Blue-green algae picks nitrogen. The word you have to fill up here is nitrogen directly from air and enhance fertility of soil. Number C. Alcohol is produced with the help of microorganisms. You know, alcohol is produced with the help of microorganisms. The word you have to fill up here is microorganisms. Number D. Cholera is caused by this. What word you have to fill up here? Cholera is caused by bacteria. The word you have to fill up here is bacteria. Next, question number 2, let's see. Question number 2. Tick the correct answer. We have to tick the correct answer. Number A. Yeast is used in the production of what? Let's see. Number 1, sugar. Number 2, alcohol. Number 3, hydrochloric acid. Number 4, oxygen. So the correct answer is alcohol. Alcohol. A. That's number 2. Next question number B. The following is an antibiotic. The following is an antibiotic. Say number 1, sodium bicarbonate. Number 2, streptomycin. Number 3, alcohol. Number 4, yeast. The correct answer is number 2, streptomycin. This one is the correct one. Next question number 2C. Carrier of malaria causing protozoan is number 1, female Anopheles mosquito. Number 2, cockroach. Number 3, housefly. Number 4, butterfly. Which one is the correct answer? Say for number C, female Anopheles mosquito. This one is the correct answer. Okay, next number D. The most common carrier of communicable disease is option number 1, ant. Option number 2, housefly. Option number 3, dragonfly. Option number 4, spider. The correct answer is option number 2, housefly. Question number 2E. Let's see. The bread or idli dough rises because of number 1, heat. Number 2, grinding. Number 3, growth of yeast cells. And number 4, kneading. So the correct answer is option number 3, growth of yeast cells. This one. Number F. Let's see. The process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is called number 1, nitrogen fixation. Number 2, molding. Number 3, fermentation. Number 4, infection. Which one is the correct answer? So the correct answer is option number 3, fermentation. Conversion of sugar into alcohol, that is called fermentation. Okay, now let's move on. Question number 3. Question number 3. Match the organisms in column A with their action in column B. Here column A and column B are there. We have to match this thing. Number 1, column A, bacteria. Bacteria. It should match with what? E. Bacteria is causing of cholera, causative organism of cholera. So number 1 should match with E. Number 2, rhizobium. Rhizobium, it should match with A. That is fixing nitrogen. Fixing nitrogen. And option number 3, that is lactobacillus. Lactobacillus, option number 3, it should match with B. Setting of curd, it should match with D. B, sorry, it should match with B. And number 4, let's see, this Roman number 4, column A, yeast. Yeast should match with C, that is baking of bread. It should match with C. And number 5, A. Protozoan. Number 5, protozoan. It should match with D, causing malaria. And number 6, a virus. Virus. It should match with F, causing H. Causing H. So with that, it ends for this question number 3 answer. Now let's see question number 4. Question number 4. Can microorganisms be seen with the naked eye? If not, how can they be seen? So the answer for this question you can say, no, microorganisms cannot be seen by naked eye as they are very small and are called microbes. They can be seen with the help of a microscope. Okay, next, textbook page number 30. Continuation of this question answer. Let's see. Question number 5. What are the major groups of microorganisms? We already studied in the previous class that microorganisms are classified into 4 major groups. They are bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and some algae. Don't forget, bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and some algae. Question number 6. Name the microorganisms which can fix atmospheric nitrogen in the soil. Name the microorganisms which can fix atmospheric nitrogen in the soil. So the answer for this question number 6, bacteria such as Rhizobium and certain blue-green algae present in the soil can fix atmospheric nitrogen and convert into usable nitrogenous compounds, so which are used by plants for the synthesis of plant proteins and other compounds. Okay, next question number 7. Write 10 lines on the usefulness of microorganisms in our lives. So we have to write 10 lines on the usefulness of microorganisms in our lives. So for this question number 7, you can write in the point number 1, you can say they are used in wine making, baking, pickling, and other food making processes. And point number 2, alcoholic fermentation by yeast is widely used in the preparation of wine and bread. Point number 3, a bacterium that is Lactobacillus promotes the formation of curd. And point number 4, microbes are used to reduce pollution. And next point, they are used to increase the soil fertility by fixing the atmospheric nitrogen. And next point, microbes are also useful in preparing many medicines and antibiotics. And next point, certain microbes are also used in the biological treatment of sewage and industrial effluents. So these are the points for this question number 7. Question number 8. Let's see. Write a short paragraph on the harmful effects of microorganisms. So we have to write a short paragraph on the harmful effects of microorganisms. So you can write in this way: microorganisms are harmful in many ways. Some of the microorganisms cause diseases in human beings, plants, and animals. Such disease-causing microorganisms are called pathogens. Some microorganisms spoil food, clothing, and leather. Some of the common diseases affecting humans are cholera, common cold, chickenpox, and tuberculosis. Several microorganisms not only cause diseases in humans but also in animals. For example, anthrax is a dangerous human and cattle disease caused by a bacterium. Disease-causing microorganisms in plants like wheat, rice, potato, sugarcane, orange, apple, and others reduce the yield of crops. Next, question number 9, let's see. What are antibiotics? What precautions must be taken while taking antibiotics? Let's see. What are antibiotics? What precautions must be taken while taking antibiotics? So for this last question, question number 9, we can say answer: the medicines that kill or stop the growth of the disease-causing microorganisms are called antibiotics. So antibiotics are nothing. They are the medicines that kill or stop the growth of the disease-causing microorganisms. Say, for example, streptomycin, tetracycline, etc. Streptomycin, tetracycline, etc. These are the name of antibiotics. And in the second part of the question, what precautions must be taken while taking antibiotics? So we have to take some precautions. So the answer for this question, we can say following precautions must be taken while taking antibiotics. So some precautions are, namely, number 1, antibiotics should be taken only on the advice of a qualified doctor. And point number 2, one must finish the course prescribed by the doctor. And point number 3, antibiotics must be avoided when not needed or in wrong doses. So these are the peculiar points. Now let's study some multiple choice question. Multiple choice question. First, question number 1. Let's see. Common cold is due to the infection by option number A, virus. Option number B, bacteria. Option number C, protozoa. Option number D, fungi. You know, common cold is due to the infection by virus. Correct answer is A. Question number 2. The dogging of dosa is due to option number A, fungal growth. Option number B, yeast cell growth. Option number C, algal growth. Option number D, viral growth. We have to choose the correct answer. The correct option is option number B. Next, question number 3, let's see. Malaria is caused by option number A, protozoa. Option number B, virus. Option number C, bacteria. Option number D, algae. Actually, malaria is caused by protozoa. So the correct option is option number A. Now let's study some more question. Question number 4. Who discovered fermentation? Question number 4. Who discovered fermentation? Option number A, Louis Pasteur. Option B, Edward Jenner. Option C, Alexander Fleming. And option D, Robert Hooke. The correct option is A. Option A, Louis Pasteur discovered fermentation. Next question. Question number 5. Atmospheric nitrogen can be fixed by option A, bacteria. Option B, blue-green algae. Option C, fungi. Option D, both A and B. So atmospheric nitrogen can be fixed by bacteria as well as blue-green algae. So the correct option is option number D, both A and B. Next question number 6, let's see. Amount of nitrogen present in air is option A 78%, option B 18%, option C 2%, option D 0.5%. So the correct option for this question number 6 is option number A. 78% amount of nitrogen present in air is 78%. Here in question number 7, let's see. Antibiotics are made from option A, fungi, option B, bacteria, option C, both A and B, option D, protozoa. So the correct option is option C, both A and B. That is, antibiotics are made from fungi and bacteria. Question number 8. In pasteurized milk, milk is heated to about option A 70 degrees centigrade, option B 40 degrees centigrade, option C 30 degrees centigrade, and option D 25 degrees centigrade. In the pasteurized milk, milk is heated to about 70 degrees centigrade. So option C is the correct option. Milk is heated to about 70 degrees centigrade. So for today, it comes to the end of this video class. In the next video class, I will bring you another new topic. For today, let's stop here. Bye.